You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, today is the day. Championship Sunday. You had the Buffalo Bills against the two-time defending champion Kansas City Chiefs. And in the NFC, you have the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the Washington Redskins, who people actually want to call the Commanders, which is one of the dumbest names in sports. But here on this channel, we call them the Redskins. Yes, so if Washington actually does win today against Philadelphia, they're definitely the underdog. They will go to the Super Bowl. And guys, I don't believe Washington has went to the Super Bowl since 1991. That was the last time they went, and Joe Gibbs was actually the head coach. It's been, 34 years, guys. That is a long time without actually getting to the Super Bowl. Now, you guys know I'm a Cowboys fan, but now the Washington Redskins are in the NFC Championship game before the Dallas Cowboys. It's been since 1996, almost 30 years for the Cowboys. But this video is not about the Cowboys. It's mainly about Washington's former owner, Dan Snyder, guys. Now, Dan Snyder, as the owner of the Redskins, it was dicey. I mean, for the most part, guys, Washington wasn't that good. They didn't have a whole bunch of playoff wins. I believe they only had 2 under Dan Snyder. But Josh Harris now is the owner, and guess what? They've already won 2 playoff games this year. Yeah, that is tied for the whole entire tenure as Dan Snyder as the owner of the Washington Redskins, guys. And apparently, Dan Snyder is not happy that his former team is winning. Usually, guys, when owners leave, they wish the best for their former team. Some of them even have minority stakes in the team. Dan Snyder, he has 0 ownership in Washington. None. Now, it's kind of hard for me to feel sorry for Dan Snyder. It really is. Remember, this is the man that bent the knee. He said, I will never change the name from the Redskins. What did he do? He changed the name from the Redskins. He dropped it. He caved to the woke pressure. They became the Washington football team for a few seasons, and then the Washington Commanders, one of the dumbest names in sports. And this man is now super salty that his former team is winning without him. Dan Snyder was not a good owner, guys. He wasn't. Washington Redskins, iconic NFL franchise, but he was not a good owner. Look here. It says Commanders, Redskins, playoff run has Dan Snyder seething. The Commanders' unforeseen playoff run has softened memories of the franchise's struggles the past couple decades. But the Dan Snyder years will never be totally forgotten, even though they produce as many playoff wins in 24 years. 2. And you guys thought that Jerry Jones is bad with the Cowboys? Yeah, Dan Snyder was worse. As Josh Harris's team has this month, on Saturday, ESPN published a lengthy feature that detailed, among other things, how Snyder tried to blow up the sale of the team to Harris in the hours after NFL owners unanimously approved the record $6.05 billion transaction in July 2023. Hall of Fame coach Joe Gibbs and others reportedly had to talk Snyder down. And Snyder apparently isn't enjoying the franchise's rebirth ahead of Sunday's NFC title game against the Eagles. Quote, he fucking hates it, a source told ESPN. Guys, I think it's safe to say, man, that Dan Snyder is probably going to be the biggest Philadelphia Eagles fan out there today. I mean, just imagine how he would actually feel if the Redskins got to the Super Bowl, something he never did. And what if, guys, and this is a big what if Washington actually won the Super Bowl? I mean, he seems to be extremely salty right now. Because especially, the way things ended, him selling the team, losing the name of the franchise, he caved. That's what he did, man. He caved. I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. You weren't a good owner, but you should have never changed the name. Snyder has made London his home for the last 2 years, but those who live in the Washington, D.C. area certainly don't share the same opinion. The Commanders brand, one that was selected 3 years ago while Snyder was still in charge, yeah, he did it, guys, has even become popular for the first time as Commanders merchandise has set records this month after playoff victories over the Buccaneers and Lions. Yeah. Look at this right here. Quote, when the new ownership took over, the engine we had built on the business side really took off. Wright, who is the team president, told Front Office Sports. It feels so good to see the fruits of our work and all that we had fits. While the football side of the Commanders, Redskins, was outside his purview, Wright recalled the reactions to the hire of Coach Dan Quinn a year ago. Guys, they're doing this with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn. Remember how bad it ended in Atlanta for Dan Quinn? Remember, Dan Quinn was actually the coach of the Falcons when they blew that 28-3 lead against the Patriots. I always said it, guys. Dan Quinn, he was a very, very good coordinator. He's on the verge of going to the Super Bowl with the Redskins. Wow. This is astonishing right here, man. And, they got Jaden Daniels, too, who's been a good quarterback this season, a rookie. And a lot of people, guys, actually would love to see a rookie QB win the Super Bowl. I don't think that's ever happened, guys. I mean, Tom Brady, that was his first year starting with the Patriots back in 2001, but he had already been on the team for a whole year when he took them to the Super Bowl. But what do you guys think of this, man? Dan Snyder being super salty that his former team is winning without him. Guys, I almost really want to see now the Redskins win the Super Bowl just to see his reaction. Wouldn't it be funny, guys, if Josh Harris actually invited Dan Snyder to the Super Bowl and they won just to see his reaction? I think it'll be interesting, man. I think it would be interesting. Something's telling me that Dan Snyder would not accept that invite because he despises them so much now that winning without him. Gonna leave right there, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.